said, I lead the Department of Justice, Peace, Reconciliation, and Creation, and this is a technical department in PCA that was formed to handle matters of religious and corporate governance and help the church to ensure there is visibility of the Presbyterian Church of East Africa, PCA, whenever there are issues that call for the church's voice. And so, as JPRC, we articulate issues that require the voice of the church, and we also help the church to understand the times. Like today in Kenya, a lot of things have been happening in the past 3 weeks, and the JPRC helps the church at the national level and even at the grassroots to understand the times. I will come back to that. So whether we've done it or not, at least we are somewhere this year. And so JPRC operates through 4 thematic areas. And the thematic areas are the areas of justice. Justice systems, the delivery of justice, and talking about justice is just mentioning that every Kenyan has a right. And rights do not just come alone. Rights also come with responsibilities. Whenever you have a right on this hand, this other hand is asking you to be responsible. We are always asking for our rights. We are always discussing about our rights and saying, I have a right for this. That is okay, because you have that right. And the Constitution has enshrined the rights that we need to be accessible to, the rights that are social justice, rights that are economic justice rights, and political justice rights. We have all these rights, and they are enshrined in the Constitution of Kenya. And so in JPRC, we discuss issues around rights, issues around justice. The second thematic area is the area of peace, calling on every one of us to be peace-loving Kenyans. Control team, if I mention something, you also project it so that people can see. We have the peace part of it. We are champions of peace. We teach people about peace. We instruct about peace, and we also live peace. And we call on ourselves, that is the citizens of this country, Kenya, to understand that without peace, we cannot do our business. Without peace, we cannot move from one area to another. Without peace, even having peace in your own self, you are not able to leave your house, because when you leave your house and you are not in pieces, not peace, then something happens to you right away. You'll either talk to people badly, or you'll not be yourself the whole day. So we champion for peace, and we ask people to have messages of peace. And with the National Council of Churches of Kenya, NCCK, we have developed peace messages, which I will send through the JPRC, and you will be able to have these peace messages backed by the Bible. The other area is the area of reconciliation. We have a lot of issues around ourselves. We are not reconciled to God, we are not reconciled to self, we are not reconciled as a family, we are not reconciled in so many ways. And therefore, JPRC is there to talk about reconciliation and to ask us to embrace reconciliation. You may find yourselves in court, and the courts are there, yes, as avenues to give you justice, but sometimes they don't give justice. So when we opt for reconciliation, we are able to embrace this change that comes gradually by having people talk to one another and not at one another long enough without interruption until they reach what is called the breakthrough. The breakthrough is when you have already climbed the conflict ladder and you are at the top and you are saying, oh, so this person is not the problem. This other person is not the problem. We have a problem here. And why can't we discuss that problem? Today, we have in the Republic of Kenya, the Gen Zs, and we applaud you. Gen Zs, wherever you are, clap for yourselves. And wherever you are, if you are not a Gen Z, clap for the Gen Zs. Come on, clap well, clap well, clap well. I said clap for the Gen Zs. Yes. Gen Zs are helping us to reconcile ourselves and ask ourselves, are we really doing the right thing as the people that are before them? In fact, they are telling the millennials or Gen Y that you have been here long enough, and it's like you are becoming complacent with what the Gen X's and the boomers and the silents have been doing. It's like you are okay with that. But the Gen Z's are saying we need to come to the table and ask ourselves, do we really need handouts? With my degree, I really need handouts? Do I really need lies? Do I really need to be tossed here and there? And they can organize themselves better than us, and we have to appreciate that it is us who are living in their time. And they are saying, you have refused to evolve. So there is evolution in governance, evolution in the family, evolution in every sector. And if that evolution has not taken place, then you are only leaving them with the option to come with a letter R and add it to evolution. And then what will it read? Revolution. Evolution is peaceful. Evolution is gradual. Evolution is process-oriented. But when we come to revolution, it is just like that. It is a spark. Revolution comes when evolution has not taken place. But then in JPRC, we have the word reconciliation. And in reconciliation, we are saying, yes, it may have not taken place when it was supposed to take place, but we are still in this country. What can we do? We are not telling the Gen Zs, keep quiet, you have nothing. Keep quiet, you are young. In fact, the Gen Zs are a little bit better. When you go down and you get to Gen A, which is Gen Alpha, they will be more difficult to deal with because they have no patience. Take them to the bouncing castle, and for 2 minutes they will enjoy it. The next minute they will come for your phone and say, the game you took me to is not appealing. I found out that you have a phone with more games, more exciting than... Come on, am I speaking the truth? If you have ever seen that, raise up your hand. Okay. If you have ever seen that, what I'm saying, raise up your hand, please. If you have ever seen these young children, you take them to a bouncing castle, and in 2 minutes they are enjoying it, dancing, jumping up, and then in the other minute they have come for your phone, and every one of them is in their own corner. If you have ever seen that, raise up your hand. If you don't know what you have ever seen, just also raise up your hand. Because some people have not seen anything, or they have not been keen enough to see that. And then we have the letter C, which is also our thematic area. And this talks about creation. Creation is more than just what we always see or hear. Creation is giving that which we always see as God's creation dignity and stewardship. Dignity and stewardship. When we talk about human dignity, it is respecting one another regardless of any age. And respecting us when we are alive and even when we are dead. Amen? And seeing this man, this woman, to have been created in the image and likeness of God. Please look at your neighbor. What you see, look at your neighbor. I'm not your neighbor. Look at your neighbor. What you see is the image of God. So whether you like it or you don't like it, that is how God looks like. By the way, without an aid of a mirror, have you ever seen yourself? Without an aid of a mirror, have you ever seen yourself? No, but you always see that other person. And God says, this is the image of God. So look at that image again. It looks like that. So God looks like that. Yeah? I know you want to say this is black, this is what, chocolate and yellow. Whichever. The size of your nose does not define you differently. You are also the image and likeness of God. And what is likeness? Likeness is the character. Image is the physical. Likeness is the character. That which is inside. I always call it, you know what I call it? The hardware and the software. The hardware is the image. The likeness is the character that is inside. So, JPRC, we say creation has to be dignified. And we have to take care of the creation. When I was walking around, I walked around a bit, I could see signposts for JPRC department. Very nice. Keeping this area well done. I only looked for a dustbin and I did not see it. I think that one you should have. I was eating some sweet and I had wanted to drop this in the dustbin, but I didn't find it. Because in JPRC we advocate that you should not just be dropping litter everywhere. Amen? Amen? Ati umekunywa maji na unarusha tu ovyo ovyo. No. In JPRC, this C says creation. Take care of the environment. It is called environmental stewardship. And it is also called human dignity. Okay? So here, at least we should have, I know they are there, but they were put a little bit far. Put some along the entry of the church. Bwana asifiwe. So that's all about our thematic areas. In JPRC, there are some things that we do. Please go back to my slides. There are some things that we do, and we deliver this. One, we do empowerment at 2 levels. Go back to my slides, please. We do empowerment. And in empowerment here, we empower at 2 levels. The first level is empowering through skills, giving out skills. The second level is empowerment through capacity building. Now, in empowerment, through skills, we do trainings. Whenever you go through any training, you are getting skills. And when you get these skills, so that you are able to go and do another level of empowerment, meaning building now the capacity of people by giving them information and giving them the right knowledge. We know that people perish because they lack knowledge. And how do we get this knowledge if we have not empowered our people? On 5th to 9th December last year, we were able to train here at Bahati. We trained and issued skills on mediation, and we were 53 people. We trained in that old church. And here we had so many people that joined. I can't remember the number, but the number was too big. We had a bigger number of people. And this is what we gave them after we had trained them. And please, if you are here, you can come for your letter of attestation. Reverend Peter Kanyi was here. You know him. Patrick Wambogo. Do you remember him? Yes, you are here. Kuja hapa na ushike hii. And then we have Rose Joki Mureidi. She's not come. And then Grace Mukami Waweru was also there. If you are here, you say, I'm here. Wangare Mwangi. And we have also Grace Kamande was also here. I believe they will come in the other services. And then we have Elizabeth Wamboi, we have Lucy Wangare Wamae, and we have Titus Muragori Gitonga, and then we had Anne Wanjiro Washira. This is not yours. Yeah, that's not yours. Mary Njoki, and then we have Betty Keiro. These are the people that were here. Betty Keiro, come if you are here. Betty Keiro. So these people were trained in mediation. And they were more than that, because I know I've just told you that there were 53 that we trained here. And we gave them skills. And I would want to ask, thank you, I would want to ask them to read in turn. Moja anasoma paragraph moja, mwingine anakuja ingine. Give them the mic. This is what we train in. By the way, am I still preaching? Yeah? Am I still preaching? Okay. So, the first one, Mwanze. Letter of
attestation for the completion of certified professional mediation training, CPM class of December 4th to 8th, 2023. This is to confirm that Patrick K. Wambogo has successfully completed the certified professional mediator training by Dispute and Conflict Resolution International, DCRI, in collaboration with the PCA JPRC. The training program consisted of comprehensive modules designed to equip individuals with the necessary knowledge and skills for facilitating mediation over different disputes.
Betty Keru participated actively throughout the training. She demonstrated commitment and a passion for mediation. Assessment of her participation in practical role plays also demonstrated understanding of the concept and the grasp of the skills in mediation.
The modules, major topics covered in this training.
Read up to 8.
The modules, major topics covered in this training are as listed below. Module 1, Introduction to Dispute Resolution Mechanism. Module 2, Conflict and Mediation Theory, Fundamental Concepts of Conflict and Mediation. Module 3, Self-Mediation Process. Module 4, Manager, Leader as Mediator.
Module 5, self-awareness, emotional intelligence, are the personality types, using nudges to break impasse, communication and the negotiation skills in mediation, the mediation process step by step.
Read on. Read on. Number 9.
Module 9, team group mediation. Module 10, areas of mediation. Module 11, challenges and mistakes in mediation. Module 12, mediation and the Kenyan law. Part A, mediation in the Kenyan Constitution. B, mediation accreditation and court annexed mediation, CAM. C, code of conduct for mediators.
Module 13, Betty.
Module 13, starting and managing mediation practice, learning by practicing and observing videos and role plays, self-mediation resolution video. B, manager as mediator, workplace mediation video. C, third-party mediation simulation. D, landlord/tenant rent dispute.
Yes, finally, having
Successfully completed these modules, Patrick Kenyowambogo has gained a comprehensive understanding of the core theories, principles, and practical approaches for professional mediation practice, issued by the Authority of Dispute and Conflict Resolution International, DCRI.
Thank you. Is it a nice thing? Is it something? Thank you. Oh, asante. Thank you for clapping for them and for us. This is what I mean by one product that we have. Training so that we give skills. And once we have given skills, then now these people can now come into your congregation. They can now come into your issues if you invite them. In fact, mediation is voluntary. It is a voluntary process where a third party who is a trained mediator comes in and helps the disputants to talk long enough about their issue, and then they come up with a very amicable resolution to their own issue. And these people have been trained. You can see they are holding their letters of attestation very proudly, and this is to show that they have been trained and they have skills. So thank you very much, Betty, and thank you very much, Elder Wambogo. You may be seated as they clap for you. So that is our product. The other thing that we have as our product is civic education. Again, we also teach people about civic education. We conduct civic education on selected issues, and especially issues that affect the country. As at now, we would expect that now the JPRC committees down here would now begin to engage seriously on civic education. How best can we help people to understand the issues that are around here? The activities that we have include, and not limited to, legal aid. I believe here you have conducted some legal aid at some point. So we use the lawyers in the congregation, and they help us in giving the pro bono work so that at least they help people with issues of legal nature. Then mediation services, we expect that here in this church, after we've trained your elders and your leaders and your members, then the congregation, the parish, should be able to give them a mediation center where people know that they can be referred there and they can come there and be given mediation services. Then paralegal services. People sometimes go to court and they don't know what to say. And the lawyers have become so expensive. Mediators and paralegals help the populate to get the services at affordable and timely costs. Yani resources are minimally used so that they don't get along in the court corridors for many years. Then the JPRC week, like this week, we now have all the activities, I believe, you had activities here that speak to what JPRC Week is. And in July 23rd from July 23rd to July 26th, we are going to have a JPRC summit in Mombasa. This is a time when we bring our mediators, all the trained mediators, and all our leaders in the parish and in the presbytery. We bring them together so that we discuss about the issues that are affecting this country. And we ask ourselves, what can we do in the next lease of time that we have? What are we going to do? And for mediators, we are asking ourselves, what is it that we are able to do better? Because we now have the skills, we may be hosted by our parishes and given rooms so that we can do the mediations there. What are we going to make mediation look like? And what are we going to do to help one another in mentorship?